Pandas DataFrame, deleting rows and columns. Deleting or dropping rows and columns from a data frame is an important activity for manipulating data frames in Pandas. It helps us in preparing our data frame with the required rows and columns and dropping the unnecessary ones. In this lesson we will learn how to drop rows and columns from a Pandas data frame. So let's begin by creating a sample data frame by importing a CSV file. Here df is our data frame. Let's check the contents of it. It has many rows and columns. As the width of screen does not permit, we are unable to see all the columns. Let's display the column names. And here are the column names of the data frame. Also check the indexes of the data frame. Here is the indexes are 0 to 26. We may use the Pandas drop method for dropping rows and columns from a data frame. The syntax of the drop method is shown on the screen. As we can see, the drop method takes a number of parameters. We will learn these one by one in our examples. Axis and inplace are two very important parameters. Axis equals 0 implies rows of the data frame. Inplace parameter determines whether the changes will be made on the current data frame or a new data frame will be returned. It is false by default. If it is set to true, the changes will be made the data frame we are working on, no new data frame will be returned after the operation. So, let's begin. Labels equals remarks and axis equals 1 implies column label remarks. Inplace equals true indicates changes to be made in data frame df. See, the remarks columns isn't present in the data frame df anymore. We may provide more than one column labels as a list as shown here. Look, the DOB and DOJ columns are dropped from df. We may also omit the keyword labels as shown in this example. Labels is the first argument here. We can also drop the columns using the columns argument also. When the columns argument is used, the axis argument is unnecessary. We may also mention the columns using the columns property of a data frame as shown here. Here columns 2 and 3 represents the mobile and email columns respectively. Now we will learn how to drop rows from a data frame. Our data frame df has 26 rows. We will drop few rows from here. Let's first see the rows of the data frame. Let's drop the row with row index 0. Now let's drop the rows with row indexes 1, 2, and 3. Let's drop the rows with index labels 4, 5, and 6. We may also use the range function for selecting the row indexes to be dropped. Let's drop the rows where the department ID is 12. That is, drop the rows that meets a condition. In our earlier lesson, we have learned how to select rows and columns using loc and iloc. We may use these for dropping rows and columns also. Let's explore a few examples here. df is our data frame and it has the following columns. Let's extract the EMP-ID, name, department ID and qualification columns from df and reassign these columns to df. Effectively, it drops the other columns. See, our new data frame has only the EMP-ID, name, department ID and qualification columns. Now extract the rows where the qualification is not BBA and reassign the rows to df. This query has dropped the rows where the qualification is BBA. In this example, we are using the iloc method to select only columns 0, 1 and 3. That is, column 2 is not taken into consideration. Here column 2 is department ID. So the resultant df will have only EMP-ID, name and qualification columns. We may also use the pop method to drop columns from a data frame. Here is an example. The pop method returns the desired column, here it is, qualification. In doing so, it drops the column from the data frame. So, these are a few techniques of dropping rows and columns from a Pandas data frame. You may use more complex criteria for dropping rows and columns from a data frame. I do hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. Please like, comment and subscribe this channel for more such interesting lessons. Thank you for watching. Happy coding!